when we live in a world that persecutes you for who you are and where you are, and this becomes normal, this reality of existence, it becomes dangerous. And individuals who are being persecuted for who they are and where they are on this plane of existence could develop a split personality. On the other hand, the one personality just wants to be who they are. They make the best of where they are, yet they're being persecuted for it. In the world in which he or she lives, that has become his reality, and he or she tries to escape it, but it seems to be unescapable. For the nature of that individuals or persons will respond and react in a way that could be a danger to himself as well as to others. Let's get into the severity of race, class, prejudice, and discrimination, where someone will come up with something of an individual group is inferior based on an ontological affirmation, which means the very being, the very nature of an individual is inferior. Another form of the danger of an individual who is really divided against himself or herself, and will place that thinking, mentality, what have you, on others. So we live in a society where people are being persecuted for who they are and where they are. Is this the purpose or the nature, the word I want to use, of this reality or plane of existence in which we live, is to be divided against each other, to be at odds with one another, to persecute each other. I don't know. I see evidence of it when one has the means to obtain certain things in life, or have attained certain things of life, and others desire those things and do whatever it takes to obtain them. Which puts people in a position to feel either left out. It could feel as though that they're being persecuted, or the person that has those things and others seeks to come at them because they want something that they do not have. And I think that which we all must have is, I just don't like to use terms, but have many of us really experienced peace? Not just with words, but with deeds and practice. Wherein that we are no threat to one another, and that which I want for myself, I want for my brother or my sister, that I want for humanity, that we be at peace. Then you get into what is called the distribution system of how things will be allocated, to say. And who controls who gets what and how much. And if it comes out of a certain mentality that further see you as a threat and withhold certain things back from you, and the individual that is, or things that are being held back from them, whatever it may be, that could serve as a benefit for humanity and not as a benefit to feed someone's, for lack of words, his or her ego, to say that I am superior over you, and that you must listen and do what I tell you to do. If not, I will continue to persecute you because I, or the person is saying to himself that I am divided or persecuted. And I'm letting you know it by the manner and way in which I persecute you, the manner and way in which I treat you. What can help humanity to not be divided against itself? Nature comes to awaken our consciousness, for that we should be aware of. We're all born with the same faculties, same consciousness. It's just a matter and way in which we use it. Intentions is judged by your actions, so it may be in how one has been orientated. Yes. Before, a lot of times you go into any school, so academic learning, if I may use that language, even if you ventured into something, they take you through an orientation, or some would say, you go through a initiation. So you can distinguish between the two if you choose, but I see the association of it. And be careful not to overly appeal to the sentiments or one's feelings. Manipulate them and play with them and prey on them. Because people will react and respond in a way that will become very emotionally charged without having any recall. For their reaction and their response. The emotion that humans have, it's something to behold, but it is something to be managed and controlled, or balanced, if I may use the word balanced rather than control. What is the point in all of this expression? Many of you heard of the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Two natures divided. He was a scientist, some would say a mad scientist. It seemed as though he was in his profession, he was a upright man, his demeanor, But he was divided against himself, and he wanted to escape that. Maybe being a upright person maybe was fulfilling enough. So then he turned into this this beast-like, you know. Human form, but the nature of a beast. But the point is that being divided against himself. The soul is the self. How can you be divided against yourself? I know I did not conclude that right. The ancient Egyptians had something when it came to know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. There is a part in us that we must disregard. Well, maybe we shouldn't disregard it. Maybe it needs some type of therapeutic or treatment, whatever you want to call it, needs to be looked at. Being foolish. There is a teaching that says you never put a fool in a position of power. People start thinking it's the model to follow. Another one says a person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. Teach them. We must be teachable. The very thing that you're trying to teach others is the very thing that they tried to argue against. How can you argue against yourself, and how do you become divided to a point where you become divided against yourself? Divided against your soul, your very being, your very nature. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. Believes that they know. There is a sense of uncertainty. But a person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid that person inside of you. Still dealing with, also in association with the Dr. Jacobs, that it's a dangerous person. A person who knows not, another one, a person who knows not and know not that they know is asleep. Maybe you awaken them. They're just asleep. Another one that says a person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Know thyself, and to my art be true. The key to life is balance. As I've come to learn to know, I've been saying this lately, whether people accept it or not, because if someone else would say it, maybe we'll have a halo of respectability about it. How, in the manner and way in which we identify with something or someone. If I say left, you say right. because ideas convert into words, and words turn into meaning, and meaning turn into emotion, and hopefully that we logically act on that matter in that way. Male, female, identify with that which is opposite to us. And that could be one's point of view. It's all relative. It's based upon where a person is at that particular point in time. And that's how we come to relate. And then we see in the word itself, read the connection. Maybe the knowledge that we are obtaining is late. Maybe we have not caught up with our soul. Maybe our soul is so advanced that we have not caught up with it. Technology is advanced. Everything is advanced. But yet we seem to be so far behind in the manner and way which we interact and get along and relate to one another. Finally, because we are opposite of each other, does not mean that we should be in opposition of each other. It's contingent upon the manner and way in which we identify with each other and the manner and way in which we see each other and what we want for each other. May the greater good come out of us for the best, or maybe the best come out of us, out from us, when it comes to the greater good for a better humanity. Until next time, talk to you.